The last thing you want to hear when you need your auto insurance most is a robot with countless irrelevant menu options. Which is why with USAA Auto Insurance, you'll get great service that is easy and reliable, all at the touch of a button. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
USAA.
This episode is brought to you by Temptations Cat Treats. Your cat will come running for the perfectly irresistible Temptations Creamy Puree and Temptations Lickable Spoon Cat Treats. The best time to feed lickable cat treats to your cat is anytime. Feed by hand for a playful moment, in a bowl for a creamy treat, or as a topper to make mealtime fun. Visit TemptationsTreats.com to learn more.
Marvel Studios' Thunderbolts will take the world by storm.
Yes! There's some big right out there, and you're gonna help me stop it.
Us?
Why, you got someplace to be?
On May 2nd.
Avengers are gone. No one's coming to save the day.
Their time.
I think we could be the people that are coming.
Has come.
Being the hero, there is no higher calling.
Let's do this.
Marvel Studios' Thunderbolts. Only in theaters May 2nd. Get tickets now. Rated PG-13. Some material may be inappropriate for children under 13.
Switch to Verizon Business and get more from your internet without paying more for your internet. Get LTE Business Internet starting at $39 a month when paired with select business mobile plans. That's unlimited data, and with it, unlimited possibilities. Start saving today with Verizon Business, ranked #1 in small business internet customer satisfaction by J.D. Power. Starting price for 25 megabits per second LTE internet plan with smartphone plan savings, plus taxes, fees, and economic adjustment charge. Terms apply. For J.D. Power 2024 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
I think you're on mute.
Workday starting to sound the same?
I think you're on mute.
Find something that sounds better for your career on LinkedIn. With LinkedIn Job Collections, you can browse curated collections by relevant industries and benefits, like flex PTO or hybrid workplaces, so you can find the right job for you. Get started at linkedin.com/jobs. Finding where you fit. LinkedIn knows how.
Welcome to the All About TRH podcast, aka All About the Real Housewives, aka All About the Truth. Today is probably one of my favorite podcast episodes because I actually had a special guest who co-hosted the podcast, talked through everything with me. Not a housewife or anything. I had my cousin Shantel join me. And we had so much fun doing this podcast. So please leave us feedback because I want to know if you guys liked the dynamic, what you felt, if you prefer just me or with Shantel, so I can beg her to do it again with me. But on today's episode, we are talking about the recent receipts that we put out involving the engagement seating scandal for Teresa Giudice's engagement party. Other exclusive things that are to come out throughout the season of New Jersey, and we also recap Miami. So take a listen, let me know what you guys think. So I've been doing this podcast alone just because I have 3 kids. It's hard to do it with someone else. I do it once they're like all in bed, but I thought we'd spice things up by having my cousin Shantel on the podcast to co-host today's episode. So thank you for joining All About TRH. Hi, Shantel.
Hi, guys. Thank you for letting me be on All About TRH, aka All About the Truth, aka All About the Real Housewives. Did I sound like you?
Oh my gosh, you totally did. You know what's so funny? We have recorded about 10 times because we cannot stop laughing. So we've had to re-record these podcasts because we can't stop laughing. But we're even actually going to a Housewives event coming up together, and I'm really excited about that. And I know I get a lot of crap, you know, for being really into New Jersey, but I think it's just because Italians, they're so similar to Middle Easterns. And Shantel and I, from the beginning, we have both been hooked to New Jersey because of the similarities. Wouldn't you say, Shantel?
Yeah, family is everything to Middle Easterns and just the culture. Anyone who really is foreign, I think, gets New Jersey. They get everything that happens. And so it just makes your blood boil when you see things that shouldn't happen in a family.
And I see like people in the comments where they're like, oh my gosh, I would never talk to that person. And it, like, even with us, there's just no way we wouldn't ever talk to our parents or talk to our siblings. We're all so close and we would just get through it. But I think with New Jersey, obviously, if someone backstabbed, like if you did what let's say Melissa did by coming on a show. You are my children's maid of honor, or maid of honor. You are my children's.
I baptize your children.
Oh my God. Yes, you baptize my children. Oh my gosh, you guys are going to think we're crazy.
We're 6 days apart and we're cousins, so we act like sisters. So this is just really funny.
Yes, this is, like, I'm excited that you're here. The reason that you're here though, is because you actually gave me feedback. You're also my biggest critic. So you were my maid of honor is what I meant to say, but, and then my children's godmother. But if you ever did that to me, like we wouldn't talk, and vice versa. Like, or we would have like some issues. I'm sure we'd get through it, but,
it's like old news going back to the third season of New Jersey, but the day that anybody I would ever do that to me and come on a show without me really knowing, we're not going to go into she did know, I would go crazy, and it just I would never even give the chances Teresa has given. So she is a godsend that she even gives them the platform to even be on the show.
And full disclosure, in this podcast, we're going to explain to you why we have a preference, and we're going to talk about why we're tired of the lies. So please don't listen to this if it's going to make you write a bad review about how biased I am. I'm still salty about the bad reviews because I am getting bad reviews from people who know where we are in New Jersey, where we lie with New Jersey. And then it's always like, oh, well, you're biased. But check out AllAboutTRH.com, as we don't put our opinion on the entertainment website. But here we are a little bit opinionated. But I wanted to go back, Shantel. Why? So I wanted to have you on my podcast because you gave me feedback, though. Speaking of bad reviews, and what was what was the feedback that you gave me?
You guys, when I'm listening to her, Roxanne does have 3 kids. So when I'm listening to her, I know the minute like she changes from high pitch to low pitch, she's probably putting her children down. She's probably cleaning the house. And I told her, you cannot do this. You need to put your children to sleep, do it at night without any interruptions, and go from start to finish and be done with it. You cannot have these little interruptions, and it just makes it a little pitchy, and it makes it a little unorganized.
Said, like, it sounds like there's like a pause in between the podcast, like episodes. Yes. There's a pause, and yes, there is a pause because I have a my daughter just turned 4 and a 2-year-old, a 2.5-year-old, and then a little baby. So it is hectic, but also the last 2 weeks have been draining with New Jersey. It's only been 2 episodes. And we are like we are obviously all Real Housewives, but we specialize in Jersey. We opened the website with Jersey. We opened the website interviewing the manager that said Melissa Gorka was a stripper. Like, we have always been the #1 source for Jersey when it came to like a blog. And I actually posted about it on our Instagram page, and so many people were like, I remember in 2010, I got a laptop because of you guys. Like, so we were, we've always been Jersey. So the last 2 weeks have just been so draining for me. So when I'm like, I have to, I said I was going to be consistent. I have to do these podcasts. And sometimes when you're recording a podcast, you mess up. Like right now, me and you were laughing, and I was like, should I start it all over or should I edit that out? But I'm like, whatever.
It's definitely a lot harder than me. Like, this is my first time on it, and it definitely is a lot harder than what you think. But I just say do it at night, and you don't have to stop and start every time.
And that's fine. But it's just like I mess up. So I'm like, oh my gosh, now I have to go through that entire script again. I have to read it again. And it's just been so draining because we've had, we've come out with crazy exclusives and, just like phone calls about things. Phone calls about things. And it's just been a lot on top of having 3 little kids and whatever. So it's been a lot, but I want to get started. I want to start off about the receipts that we just put. So Shantel, did you take, I actually texted you. I was like, make sure you look at everything, because sometimes you're like behind, and I'm like, make sure you look. So did you take a look at the recent receipt that we put up?
Yeah. Seating chart gate.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So seating chart gate. So how important is it to be at a head table in like with Middle Easterns, or like you said, just anyone
Correct. Anybody who's foreign, not to discriminate, but anybody who's foreign, it really, even if I didn't get along with my sister-in-law and we're not that close, if she was not at my head table, there would be a problem. So from the get-go, you need to have your parents, your siblings, and even maybe aunts and uncles, anybody who's really close to you, to be at that front table.
And a lot of people don't understand that, but like you said, it's just, if you're foreign, you understand how important it is. And I think the generation's changing, things are changing, but you understand how important it is. At least for your first wedding, you have to do whatever is like the tradition. Your second wedding, when you're like 50 years old, I don't know how it would be. I mean, I don't know how it would be at that point, if it would be the same thing. But this was an engagement dinner of 50 people. And on episode 2, we see Joe Gorka, him and Melissa, the only scenes they have are with each other, and they discuss how weird the engagement. They bring up the engagement dinner from December. So I don't even know why we're discussing the engagement dinner, because it was already discussed at the season 12 reunion, but they bring it up because everything they do is strategic. So they bring up the engagement dinner and they say it was weird, that they felt uncomfortable the entire time. So we went digging, we got the receipts, because that's what we do. We want to get the receipts. We want to hear all sides, and we got the receipts. So we actually reached out to the planner of the event and we got the seating chart. So we got the seating chart, and you saw the seating chart. You saw
loving it.
Yes. The receipts. You saw Melissa and Joe
right across from Teresa and Louis. So they're either right across from them. As I saw it, I'm sure it was right across from them. And she has her daughters all the way at the end of the table, and she has them right across from her. And I feel like people are going to say, someone could have just like drew that up real quick. And I think that's what people are saying. And
some people are.
Yeah. And if you are saying that, you've never thrown a party. Most of the time you're drawing things, sketching things out, and you're not going to put it on a computer because it's 50 people. Even when we have our 400 people wedding, you are sketching it first, and then you put it on some sort of computer or Excel sheet to make sure it's organized. So it's definitely looks like that was her seating chart and what she intended to happen.
And our other cousin, she is in that business, and she literally, her and the person will sketch at the invitation. They'll do it. I remember when I got married, I wrote down, I literally had to write everything down. I was with my mother-in-law. We were sitting, there was like a big poster board, and we wrote everything down, but we had like 450 people. So I don't know why people are questioning, like, oh, an event planner would never write it down, but it's
because they're so mad. They're so mad. Teresa's finally giving receipts, and they're shook. Yeah. They're shook that it's the truth, and they can't fathom the truth right now that's coming at them.
Yeah, it's not fitting their narrative. And look, at the end of the day, it was only 2 tables. It wasn't like, I know we talk about head tables and stuff, but it was only 2 tables. It wasn't like it was like this huge party where they weren't sitting at the head table. But here's what happened. So here's Teresa. Teresa says that Melissa and Joe were at the head table. Antonio was sitting at with the other kids, with her daughters. I get it.
At the head table.
At the head table. I would not want like little kids at my head table. Like, I'd rather have the adults. So she put the 2 boys, Joey, and I don't even know the other kid's name. She put them at the other table. Again, there's only 2 tables. It's still her most important, closest people, but she put those 2 boys at the other table. What Carrie Ann, like the coordinator assistant, said was that Melissa came and said, why am I not sitting with my boys? Why are we not all together? I want to sit with my boys. So then Carrie Ann was like, okay, then she moved them to go sit with her boys. That's what happened. That's the actual truth. That is what Carrie Ann said. So we're taking the seating chart and we're taking what Carrie Ann said. Obviously, Teresa's like distracted. Teresa's number one thing was like, make sure, because she knows, like, make sure you put my brother and sister-in-law at my table. Who wants to deal with that drama?
And she comes from an old school Italian family. She knows she was married to somebody who was old school Italian. She knows the deal. She knows what to do. She just does.
Yeah. And that's what her request was. Her only request was like, make sure, because she didn't want any drama. Now, of course, Melissa goes and she keeps bringing it up. She says she wasn't seated at the head table. Like, there was like 300 people there. She keeps denying it. Even when this came out, she's denying it. Like, she's saying, oh, what's that seating chart? She's discrediting it like she always does, that anything Teresa says. And we see pictures though. So Shantel, did you take a look at the pictures?
Yeah, there was pictures of Joe and her daughters. There was pictures of Teresa and her sons, they were happy times. Like, I was excited to see that. When I saw that, I was like, they look like they're having a good time. They look like they finally are squashing the drama to have a good time. No cameras were there. They're enjoying themselves.
Yeah, they look like they were clowning. Like Joe Gorka was making like goofy faces. He had a picture with him and Louis where they were acting funny. He had a picture with all of Teresa's daughters. Like, they were like being goofy, and it looked like all was well. So I don't know how people don't, watch the episode and question why in May, when this is filming, are they bringing up like, even the engagement was weird. Why are you like putting down all your sisters' like events and happy times and making it about how you feel?
Because they have nothing to talk about. They literally have nothing to talk about other than Teresa and Louis and everything going on in her life. They have no drama in their life if it doesn't revolve around Teresa.
I will say, I feel like they talk about Teresa so much because I feel like Joe Gorka is very old school. I don't know if you guys remember, but Melissa wrote a book. In the book, if you guys read it now, especially we're in 2023, if you read it now, she'd be canceled. Like, she would actually be canceled on what she said. Like, she talked about, I didn't read it, but I've read quotes like about marital like rape. I don't even know. Okay, like that's extreme. But she talked about crazy things and like how you have to like serve your husband, just like really old school mentality. So I don't feel like they have the best marriage. I don't think they want to talk about that. I think Joe Gorka is like that typical like old school guy. And we have that in the Middle Eastern world where they like are super controlling and like they get jealous. And Melissa, like, she looks, she's done a lot, but she looks, according to, she feels to her, I feel like she thinks she looks the best she's ever looked, right? So she like goes to places and all this drama is happening. Joe has just lost his sister. I can't imagine they have a good marriage. Like, behind closed doors, I don't think that they do.
Really? I think the one thing I will give them is that, like, when there are rumors that come about that Melissa's cheating, like, I don't believe that. I won't believe it. I don't think they have the best marriage, but I think they've kept it together. And if anything that we've seen out of all the Real Housewives shows is that the show will break your marriage. So if it hasn't done that for them, I don't think they have the best marriage, but I don't think they're the worst marriage either.
Yeah, I don't think they have the worst marriage. I just think they have a bad marriage. I think that behind closed doors, because we've never seen them.
I think Joe's very unhappy. I think Joe's very unhappy. And I don't know if that's because of Melissa. I don't know if that's because his parents are not here anymore. I don't know if that's because his sister. Joe is a very unhappy person, and he is the problem. He is the problem.
Absolutely. Me and you have been saying that from the beginning. Like, we always thought Joe was the problem.
It wasn't Melissa. And the fact that, which you'll talk about too, and the fact that they're trying to now, it's funny to me that now Melissa on her podcast is now trying to blame Louis as the problem when she literally went crazy on Teresa for always blaming her as a problem. It's comical. It's comical. It's comical at this point.
A good point.
And it's just, she tries to change the narrative around to always fit her. But it's like, you went after Teresa for 9 seasons for her always blaming you, and now you're going to blame the person that she's in love with and she's marrying. It makes no sense to me. No sense to me.
Oh my gosh, that's such a good point. Absolutely, you're 100% right. And speaking of the podcast, so Melissa is responding to things on her podcast, and you know what's so funny? She keeps saying, "Wow, Teresa's working overtime. Like, she's really working overtime." And it's like, because once the text messages came out, so we revealed text messages that completely, shit on anything that Melissa had to say. Everything that Melissa and Joe made it like they haven't tried. We haven't talked to them in months. Like, it's been so weird. We put out text messages of Louis pleading and begging to make things right. Let's hang out outside of cameras. I even revealed like that Louis had tried to plan a family trip with the cousins and stuff. So he's been trying. Teresa's been trying. She apologized for not responding to a text message at the reunion fast enough. And so now, because all they did was put the text messages out there, Melissa's saying that she's working overtime. Like, she tells Joe she's really working on the clock. And Joe in the background is like laughing and giggling. I've never seen a man do something like this, by the way. And let alone a man do it to his sister. I've never, ever, like, that he would be in a podcast with his wife. I get it. You have to be there for your wife. But like, laughing at the expense of your sister, it's the most mind-boggling thing ever. But let me just say something. I don't understand how screenshotting text messages that are unedited after Melissa lies about it is working around the clock. Like, I don't know why she's saying that.
because she's trying to change the narrative and make it seem something that it's not. Teresa, this is Teresa's first fucking, oh, I mean, I swear, I don't know,
No,
but this is her first time pulling out receipts, and I'm living for it. This is the era of receipts, the season of receipts, and she's pulling it out and she's saying, this is not what's happening. And you know why she's doing that? It's because she probably doesn't care anymore. She's so over them. And I'm so happy for her to finally get to that point. I'm not happy that she's losing her brother. And I really do hope one day they can reconcile, maybe for not for their parents, because their parents are not here, but for the kids. But she's so over the fact of them lying and changing their narrative around. And she's finally saying, like, no, this is what the truth is. And the truth is, the text messages, the truth is the seating chart, and this is what it is. It's not her working overtime. Does she not know what overtime is? Has she ever worked a day in her life to know what overtime is? She's literally putting out text messages and a seating chart.
Exactly. Melissa says that Teresa just has never went hard, but like you said, and I know this for a fact, that the reason, just like you said, Teresa is doing this is because she's done. Her and Joe and Melissa are done. So I think when she used to stay silent or she wouldn't even watch, it's because she wouldn't be able to say much, because if she did, they'd go 10 steps backwards and then Joe would be mad at her or whatever. Now she does not care. So she sees, okay, here they are on TV trying to spin the narrative. That didn't even happen. Okay, let me screenshot text messages. She doesn't care anymore because she has zero intention of repairing a relationship with them. They will never be good. Maybe, I mean, obviously we just saw her and Jacqueline be friends again. So maybe, 5 years down the line, they could have a conversation, but it would have to be like one of them be off the show. Don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it shows when Louis texted Joe and said, hey, come to her 50th birthday. And he was like, off camera, on camera, I don't really care. So it's like, at that point, why would she care? Why would she care if you're saying that? And even on Melissa's podcast that she just recently posted, she goes, family. Am I even supposed to call her family anymore? I don't think we're supposed to call her family. Are you joking? Like, at the end of the day, you guys are family. Just because you guys are family doesn't mean you guys have to get along, but you're family. So get over it. And if that's if that's what you want to do, that's on you.
I want to share this clip, and I'm an amateur. So I hope you guys can hear this perfectly, but this clip on Melissa's podcast, by the way, we did not listen to it. This is so petty, but I don't even want to give it a view or anything. But there are obviously a bunch of clips on Twitter and stuff.
Yeah, I see the clips on Twitter too.
Exactly. Like Twitter and Instagram. I'm not going to actually listen to the whole thing, but I want to share a clip. So this was when we shared the text messages exclusively. We shared it first. We shared those texts and everyone was like, thank God. Now see Teresa, she is on top. She was telling the truth. I'm so glad the truth is finally out. Look at Melissa on her podcast. The people who were on episode 1 and 2 acting like the biggest victims ever. Look at how she reacts to it. Let me know if you can hear it, Shantel, too.
This is vindication. It's all happening, guys. Like, what the f is happening? We're going to see Avatar tonight to watch a movie, guys. We'll let you know how it went. Vindication. Like, what the f? Please tell me what is happening. This is big.
So that.
Oh my God, that makes my blood boil.
I don't understand how I understand how she has fans. She's controlled the narrative the last 10 years. I get it. But for you guys to act like victims and act like you're so sad and you're so overwhelmed and you're so over it, to then mock it, and then you have Joe Gorka in the background laughing.
I'm shocked you're not calling him Queen today. That was the funniest. You called him Queen on your last podcast, and I think I literally died because it came out of nowhere, and I was just like, yeah, that really is. He's just the Queen. He's the Queen of.
No, he's literally a woman. He is obsessed with and
he should be the housewife.
That's us putting women down. So I'm not trying to do that. But he is so invested in this show that's between women. And I get it because, he's Teresa's brother and he's one of the main reasons Melissa's on. But I have never in my life seen a man so involved, so trying to get his side out there, so calculating. I can't take it. He literally is a queen to me. And it is what it is.
The Taylor Swift song, hi, I'm the problem, it's me. That's him, and he just is the problem out of this whole threesome, foursome, whatever you want to call it, he is the problem.
And then, you guys, he goes on, I don't even know what he went on, but it is on AllAboutTRH.com. But he basically says that he's bringing up something from 20 years ago. And he says that his parents treated Melissa horribly when she, came into the marriage. And I'm thinking, like, your parents aren't even here to defend themselves.
Rest in peace. Like, right. Why are you even talking about this?
What would make, and here's the thing, Shantel. Why is he bringing up something from 20 years ago when they get mad when Teresa brings up them coming on the show 10 years ago?
Exactly. I just, again, it's everything that they want to say in their narrative, and they don't care. They do not let anyone do what they do at all.
Yeah, they can, they just get mad. They think they can do it. But if Teresa does it, then it's a problem. Then they're mocking her. Then they're, talking all this crap. There was so much more that she said on the podcast. Like, she said that, Teresa met up with Jacqueline because, like, Jacqueline said something about her, or, like, Jacqueline actually did an interview with us where she did expose Melissa, and she defended Teresa, and she did expose Melissa, and she said that every day Melissa would be telling me new stuff. Like, she would be telling me stuff about Teresa to make me kind of like think Teresa might be the problem. And, she said that Melissa spoke poorly of Teresa all the time to them. And she just defended Teresa. What do you think about, Teresa and Jacqueline meeting up, Shantel?
I think at the end of the day, they've been friends for way longer than when Melissa and Joe got on the show. So for Melissa, of course, to be so obsessed with herself, to make it more about herself again is just comical at this point. And to say they are friends because she's exposing Melissa, it's like they've been friends for so long, and just let them be. I mean, I don't trust Jacqueline, and I don't know like what Jacqueline's intentions are. And I think she left the show very weird with Teresa. But if Teresa wants to let bygones be bygones, and now she's in a relationship with Louis, and maybe they can form a friendship with her and Chris, let them do it. It doesn't matter at this point. Jacqueline's not coming on the show, so let them have fun and do what they need to do.
Well, Shantel, you and I rewatched New Jersey. You rewatched season 3 through 5, or like you watched season 3 and after. And
I didn't love Jacqueline.
Yeah, but I loved her, but I loved her season 1 and 2, and then I didn't like her. Yeah, and then there was season 6 season 7. Her last season was season 7, and that's when she kind of, you guys have to rewatch it. She did go crazy.
She was crazy.
Yeah, me and you talked about it, and we were like, oh my God, Jacqueline she fucking went crazy. But you know what? Like, it sucked because Jacqueline was too late. She's finally trying to tell Teresa about Melissa, and Teresa had just gotten out of prison. So she's like, I just need to move forward with my family. Like, I'm done with this drama. You don't even know what I just went through. And Jacqueline just could not keep up with her emotions. The show is not good for a Jacqueline. It's just not. It's absolutely
exactly.
Not. And I think Jacqueline knows that it's not good. But also, Jacqueline has a son who is autistic, and we know, like, people that with little kids, like in our family, whatever. And it's a lot. And it's like, now that Teresa speaks out about her Nicholas and how difficult it is, can you imagine like having an autistic child and then also doing the show?
No, the best thing for her was to leave. And at the point, and it's like when you know too much information, you're just not good for it anymore, because she knew everything that probably Teresa bashed on Melissa for, which I'm sure she did. And when Melissa would bash on Teresa.
Wait, Shantel, you know what scene I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about the scene where Teresa said something to Jacqueline. Like, she was like, yeah, well, my brother said you said this. And Jacqueline pulls out her phone.
My
she's
God.
Like,
and
she's
she
like,
calls.
your brother? Yep. She's like, your brother? Yeah. She was like, your brother? Oh, your brother said that? Hey, Joe, did you say this? And I was like, oh my God. I don't even remember that. Like, I had to rewatch that, but I was like, oh my God, she is off the wall. Like, she just did that. And that
she cares
crazy.
Too much, which is such a great quality, but not for a show like this. And not for a show that's dealing with a brother and a sister who love each other, but then they don't know how to express it, and then they're going crazy. Like, it just was not good.
But Jacqueline also had like so much family drama as well. So it's like, you can't be giving advice or saying something when like you guys you don't have your shit figured out with your husband's family. And that's where it was. So me and you, I remember we were like, yeah, Jacqueline's too much. But I do believe that Jacqueline is a truth teller to a fault. Like, she tells the truth when it's like, okay, there needs to be some loyalty. Like, if I told you a secret in confidence, like don't tell anybody that. So, but I do believe she tells the truth.
Yeah, I think she tells the truth 90% of the times. I'll give her that for sure.
Yeah. So
because there were some things that it's like, I don't think you were being honest about that, or she would just like make it more dramatic. Yeah, she'd make it more dramatic. Yeah. But I do think anything like the exclusive you just got from her, I do think what she says is correct, because what is she going to gain from it? She's not coming back on the show.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, I guess she gained Teresa's friendship back, which is awesome, but it's like she doesn't care that much. Like, it's not like she's been dying for Teresa's friendship back.
Like, she does love Teresa.
Okay.
I absolutely do think that she regretted how it was, and that she just has like
because
this
she
weird
was in
soft
the wrong.
spot.
Like, because she was in the wrong, and she did flip on her when she shouldn't have. Because
I think Jacqueline though thinks like Teresa did some stuff to her too. Like, I don't think that she believes she was 100% in the wrong. I believe that she was absolutely in the wrong in this situation.
Yeah, what we saw, absolutely. Maybe on maybe behind the scenes, Teresa could have apologized for a few things, and Teresa has a problem with that in the past, but she is learning. And that actually brings us to the next thing, is like that where I think Melissa's blaming Louis.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Saying that he's the problem. Louis to the fault. I don't know that much about him because what we've seen, but Louis to the fault is always telling people to make up, almost to the point where it's annoying, where it's like, shut the F up. Like, I don't want to, I don't want to make up with her right now. Like, I'm mad. And it's like, so how are you going to blame the peacemaker? How are you going to blame someone who truly cares and is a positive energy? How are you going to blame it on him? Make it make sense. Make it make sense, Melissa.
Exactly. He's actually trying. He's pleading with them. He's begging them. Like, he wants peace. He tried so much. He asked Joe to walk in the wedding right away. So apparently he asked Joe to walk in the wedding right away. Joe says yes. The next day, I find out that, a few days later, next day, whatever. I don't want to, say that for sure. But a few days later, Joe calls and says, I can't be in the wedding if my wife's not in the wedding. And then he's like, but I'll walk her down the aisle. Who the F are you? I swear to you, I don't think me and you have talked about this yet. By the way, me and Shantel talk about everything. I'll call her and be like, here's what's new. Here's what's this. Here's what I found. But yeah, he called and he said, I'm not going to walk in the wedding, but I can walk her down the aisle.
First of all, she's a grown-ass woman. She doesn't need you to walk her down the aisle. This is her second marriage. She doesn't need you to walk her down the aisle. And actually, she has 4 daughters. Her daughters can walk her down the aisle if she wants somebody. She doesn't need her brother to walk her down.
She did think about that. She did think about having her daughters. But at the end of the day, I think what it came down to was like, I've been through so much. But you know what? I'm finally happy and I'm walking to the next chapter of my life. And she does not need thirsty ass, fame whore ass Joe Gorka to walk with her down the aisle. Like,
it's comical.
To him, it's like, honestly, like, I really do feel like it's fame. Like, I have one brother.
We both have one brother.
Oh yeah,
I have sisters too, but we both have one brother. And even now, like, I don't know if I would ask my brother to walk me down. I don't think you would ask your brother.
Like, you would never. No,
I don't think it's
so
that
close to him, and you still wouldn't. Yeah.
I don't think it's something that needs to happen. Like, I can walk myself down the aisle and go to my future husband. Like, no, thank you. But you sit down and you can be at my wedding another way if you want to be.
And thank God she didn't do that. And like, honestly, who the hell are you to ask that? Like, this is not your wedding. I feel like this whole wedding, they are going to make it about them.
Disgusting. Yeah. You already see it. You saw it from the reunion. You saw it from... You see in the last 2 episodes, you're going to see in the next episode, you see in all these receipts. It's like all they care about is how they feel. And when it's someone's wedding, it should be about them and it shouldn't be about you. And if you are her, suck it up. And then after the wedding, you can discuss it. Let it be for her moment. She's been through so much. Let her have her moment. One moment she can have.
Absolutely. I agree. Like, if you
a happy moment.
If you have a problem, like, and you want to talk about it, wait till the wedding's over. I feel like, okay, fine, sit down and talk about it, but wait till the wedding's over. Don't do this throughout her entire like wedding process. And the people who are like Team Melissa or like understand where she's coming from. Those are the same people that if someone tried to mess up their wedding or made them stress through their wedding, they would be like, they would close the door on them and be like, don't ever look at me, don't ever talk to me, nothing, you know? So it's so crazy to me that some people are defending these actions by them when it's Teresa's wedding. It's not their wedding.
I'll never get it. The only time I can understand sometimes when Teresa has been in La La Land was probably like last season, but other than that, I'll never understand the Melissa fans. I just don't get it.
I don't think her last season was her best. I think that but Shantel,
and we'll admit that, but she was in a loving relationship. She didn't care. She didn't like know what was happening.
But Shantel, how many times like when we have like cousin days with like all the cousins and the husbands and like whatever. And how many times if someone even says one thing about my husband, which no one does, he's the same, but like if someone even made a comment, we get so territorial about our men. Like you get so territorial about your man. We just do. So that's all Teresa was doing. She didn't do it in the right way. And sometimes we have those moments. Her moment just happens to be on TV where she was getting so pissed that they were talking about her man and she's finally found happiness.
And the day that I ever tell you or any of my other cousins not to say, or sisters, and sister-in-law not to say anything, and you go say something, done.
Oh my God. If you ever did that to me, if you ever did something like that to me, and then like, you're like, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't even know what she did. She was like mocking her. She came out. She's like, you guys, Teresa texted me and said not, and I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding? If my sister-in-law, if any of you guys did that to me, that's it. Like I would have the biggest problem with that. And that is a big deal. And that would indicate and show me like, you cannot walk in my wedding. Like you're mocking me. And it shouldn't be a wedding where, you know, like for example, like Teresa's first wedding, I'm sure she's had bridesmaids that she doesn't talk to anymore. Just like Melissa's like ex-maid of honor came out and started saying like, oh, Melissa is this, that. She doesn't talk to her anymore. So you should only, like, this is her second wedding. She's older now.
To be honest, she shouldn't have had any bridesmaids. Like, make it easy for yourself, girl. Like, don't even have anybody.
Yeah, I agree. But it's her wedding. Like, if she wanted
to, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then, so I don't know if you saw the previews. I know we're still talking about Jersey, but you guys were Jersey crazy. But if you saw the previews for next week, she asked Melissa to be a bridesmaid. What did you think about? Did you see that preview yet? I feel like you might.
Yeah, I saw the preview. I wanted more context though. It's like, was Melissa complaining about it, and then she asked her, but Melissa says no at the end of the day, and then like it's like, why even like for her to even ask, and then you say no? It's like, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are?
She said, and you know what? I'm so glad that Teresa did this in front of everybody. So she does it in front of the whole crew. So it's a to be continued from this week. She does it in front of the whole crew, Shantel, and she says like, okay, well, do you want to be in my wedding? And she's like, I'm not if you're going to ask me like that. And then Teresa says like, no, like I would love for you to be in my wedding. I'm just telling you why I got upset. And Melissa was like, that's like an ex-boyfriend telling me I want you back or something like that. And it's like, wait, I'm confused here. You just made this whole season like you were pissed about not walking in this wedding.
Some things work better together. Like NARS's Soft Matte Complete Concealer and Radiant Creamy Concealer. Soft Matte Complete Concealer erases and blurs imperfections with full coverage. Then, Radiant Creamy Concealer evens and brightens with a luxurious texture and radiant finish. 2 concealers, 1 flawless look. Perfect for a no foundation base. NARS, better together. Visit Ulta to shop now.
Llévate más de lo que esperas todos los días con el nuevo McValue en McDonald's. Ahora puedes comprar uno y sumarle otro por $1. Así que cuando tu equipo favorito enfrente a sus rivales, enfrenta tus antojos con $5 Meal Deals. Y si estás corriendo para alcanzar el desayuno, corre a la para llevarte ofertas antes del cutoff. Tú decides, y con McValue, tu decisión siempre rinde más. Precios y participación pueden variar. BOGO $1 válido para un producto de igual o menor valor. Debe estar registrado en Rewards para ofertas en el app.
Uh-oh. The last cookie.
You can get a new box of cookies in as fast as an hour with Walmart Express Delivery.
Are you my guilty self-conscience?
No, I'm the voice offering you promo code EXPRESS for free delivery on your first order.
Hey, who ate my cookies?
You mean, these cookies?
Order now. Welcome to your Walmart. Promotion valid for first express delivery order. $50 minimum subject to availability. Restrictions apply.
Are you still quoting 30-year-old movies? Have you said cool beans in the past 90 days? Do you think Discover isn't widely accepted? If this sounds like you, you're stuck in the past. Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. And every time you make a purchase with your card, you automatically earn cash back. Welcome to the now. It pays to Discover. Learn more at discover.com/credit card, based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
And now, two pigeons bemoaning the fact you can choose the TV you want with DirecTV.
So now they can pick out their favorite entertainment when they sign up and save money?
You mean if you like sports?
You can get a sports pack.
What about entertainment?
Entertainment pack.
It's like finding an old pizza with your favorite toppings, which for me would be pineapple and toenails.
Pineapple?
Pay for the TV you want, not the TV you don't. Genre pack starting at $34.99 a month. Visit DirecTV.com for more information. New residential customers only. Local channels vary by market. Services renew monthly unless you cancel online. Credit card required. Restrictions apply.
Season 1 of Andor had critics calling it the best Star Wars series yet. Season 2 of the Emmy-nominated series is now streaming on Disney+. Follow Cassian Andor as he embarks on a path from a rebel to a hero. Starring Diego Luna and from creator Tony Gilroy, writer of Michael Clayton and The Bourne Identity. Season 2 of Andor is now streaming only on Disney+.
So good, so good, so good.
Great gifts for mom? We've got them. And they're up to 60% off at Nordstrom Rack stores now.
You know they have Marc Jacobs? Gotta show mom some love.
That is so good. Snag amazing deals on Mother's Day gifts from Barefoot Dreams, Kate Spade New York, and more. Great brands, great prices. That's why you rack.
Chronic migraine, 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more, can make me feel like a spectator in my own life.
Botox, onabotulinum toxin A, prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine. It's not for those with 14 or fewer headache days a month. It's the #1 prescribed branded chronic migraine preventive treatment.
Prescription Botox is injected by your doctor. Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, including ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Why wait? Ask your doctor, visit BotoxChronicMigraine.com or call 1-800-44-BOTOX to learn more.
Acura's all-new ADX, a compact SUV that isn't just built for one thing. It's precision-crafted for everything. To escape the grind with available all-wheel drive. To go with your flow with available Google built-in.
Hey Google, turn it up.
Okay, turning up the volume. And crafted to be heard with an available Bang & Olufsen premium sound system. The all-new Acura ADX, crafted to match your energy. Acura, precision-crafted performance.
Take your vibes and go, 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 go.
Google is a trademark of Google LLC.
Your snacking routine can get a little dull. Time for an Oikos remix. Like a crunchy storm of sea salt praline pretzels, dark chocolate, and butter toffee, showering down into a smooth, creamy yogurt. Enjoy 3 Oikos Remix varieties with epic mix-ins and 11 grams of complete protein per 4.5-ounce serving. See RemixYogurt.com.
Hey, guys. Back at the playground again, huh?
Yep. You know what this playground could use? A wine country.
Heck yeah. And some waves, so we could go surfing. Oh,
yeah. Love that.
A redwood forest would be cool.
I'm in.
Ski slopes.
Let's do it.
Can a girl go shopping?
Yeah, baby.
Wait. Did we just invent California?
Discover why California is the ultimate playground at visitcalifornia.com.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader. Like that car riding your tail. Or if you're tailgating right now, all those cars doubling as kitchens and living rooms are on AutoTrader too. Are you working out and listening to this ad at the same time? Well, multitasking pro, cars like the ones in the gym parking lot are for sale on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
And she gave you the gesture. It was a gesture, and if you don't want to take it, that's on you. But don't turn it on, and then you're gonna not end up coming to her damn wedding.
Well, some people were like, well, that was like a pity invite, or like, why would she do it in front of the other girls? Well, why wouldn't she do it in front of the other girls? If she didn't, Melissa would have made it like, oh, it was a BS invite. It was this. Like she would have spun the whole thing because that's what her and Joe do. They spin absolutely everything. So that's exactly what would happen here. And I don't know if you know Shantel, but she ends up asking, spoiler alert, Teresa ends up asking if Gino can walk in the wedding. Oh my gosh, that's Melissa's other son's name. She ends up asking if Gino can walk in the wedding.
To be a ring boy?
To like a groomsman. I don't know how old he is. I don't know if he's the young one or the older one.
No.
See, like, I feel like
Gino,
they never show.
Gino is the second one. Yeah. You're right. He's like 15 now.
Okay.
Joey's the younger one.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. So then Gino would walk with Adriana, I think.
Okay.
Probably because they're the same age then. So that's what
then
I'm
that's
thinking.
Gino. No, that's Gino maybe. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah. So she asked, oh my gosh. But like, I don't know Melissa's
They're really cute. They this season was really refreshing to see them. I feel like we haven't seen them. Especially the middle one. I think he had his like growth spurt and he's so good looking. I think
the young one, I mean, they're all very cute. The young one, to me, he's like literally the biggest stud ever.
Yeah, they're so cute.
Yeah. So she ends up asking for Gino to walk and she says no. She's like, no, just let it be.
Melissa says no for her son.
She says no for her son.
Oh my God.
And then we're going to just talk about this now.
Even if I was mad, I would allow my...
Because it's not about the kids. Yeah,
it's about the kids. Like, are you guys joking?
Yeah,
are you joking?
It's like, don't put the kids in it. Like, Gino would love to walk. They seem close. He would love to walk. Why are you going to talk for Gino and say, nope, he can't walk?
And that's part of your family. So she's clearly wanting some part of your family in the wedding. Like, she's wanting some of your family in the wedding. So let that be. Like, what do you need? Do you and Joe want to walk her DM down the aisle? Do you want to be wearing a white dress? Or would you want that to make it happy for yourself? I'm just confused.
I think they were just so jealous that Teresa was going to have this epic wedding. Other housewives were going to be there. Like, this was going to be the talk of the town. And it was like, and I'm sure
she got her own special for it. That's how you know how epic it is. And it's like, are you joking?
Well, I think Teresa's gotten asked quite a bit to have her own special, to have her own spin-off. Her daughters don't want to do it. So like a lot of the time, I think I read something recently where, I don't know, do you remember Kim D? But Kim D was like, I think Teresa, yeah.
Just kidding.
She's like, yeah, I don't care. She was like, I think Kim D said, I think Teresa will get her own show. But it's not about Teresa. That means the kids have to be really involved. And I don't think the daughters want to be involved like that. So that's why they've never had their own show. I think they have been offered. Just Teresa's like, okay, well, then there's going to be even more drama surrounding my family. Like, I don't want any more drama. Like, she just wants to live her life and be happy and do this show that she has done from the very beginning.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
Another spoiler, we've talked about this a little bit, but so another one of the arguments is going to be that she doesn't invite Melissa's mom to the wedding. Okay, in a foreign world, okay, how important is it to invite the in-law?
Okay, I think I don't know, I'm indifferent about this because I am thinking about my sister-in-law's mom. And if hey girl, love you guys. And
no disrespect.
No. This is it. Okay. If I'm 50, hell no. Okay. But absolutely. Now I'm going to get married soon. And if I'm going to have a 400, 500 person wedding, okay. Yeah. I'm going to extend the offer. If I'm going to have a 100 to 200 person wedding, absolutely no, I'm not going to extend the offer.
You're not wasting an invite.
Exactly. And it's not out of disrespect, but it's like, these are the people that are the most important to me. And unless like she came to me and said, hey, I would want my mom here, I would never say no. So, and I think that's what ended up happening. So if she ended up saying, if my sister-in-law came to me and said, how dare you not ask my mom, I'm like, oh my God, 100% invite her, have her come. I would never have an argument, but would I go out of my way to remember to invite her? Probably not. To be honest,
I agree, but I know that
it is important.
You have to like all of us. Okay, so when I got married, it was like, okay, get your sister-in-law's mom and dad's address, and so or your their parents'
which
address.
Is so wild because like so do you talk to your sister-in-law's mom and dad? I don't know.
No. Just when you see them at their occasion, at their parties, whatever parties they throw, you'll see them and you'll say hi. But for them to come to your wedding, it's a culture thing. It's so stupid. Yeah. It's no disrespect, but it doesn't make sense for them to be there. Like, period. It just does not make sense for them to be there. But especially at 50 years old, you wish that I would think to ever invite your...
Do you know how many people were at this wedding?
There's 200 people.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Stop it. And then on top of that, like one, it is a Bravo special. So she probably had to invite like 50 people that were from Bravo. And it's
She
like,
did, yeah.
Yeah. So why are you making it a big deal? I don't know. And especially if Teresa was like, yes, did Teresa say like, yes, let me invite her right after when she found out?
Absolutely, she
Okay.
did. She does end
Yeah,
up saying,
that's
she
how.
says, yes, I'll invite her. Like and Teresa, I think was like, oh my gosh, I wish Joe would have told me and I would have invited her. And they're like, why would, Joe need to tell you? Like, but it's like,
I wish Teresa just knew and just said, okay, let me invite her to avoid this. But I don't think it was that big of a deal.
At 50 years old, I'm not doing it. It's my second wedding. That's the last thing that I would do.
Same.
Also, you
did she invite her sisters? Did she invite Melissa's sisters?
Absolutely not, Shantel.
Thank God. Thank God. Oh my God.
Those sisters have trash.
Evil.
Yeah. And it's crazy because there's this Twitter account. You guys, Twitter's crazy. There's this Twitter account and they actually are pulling up tweets because they pulled up tweets from us from 2012. I'm like, how do people do this? This is crazy. So they're pulling up tweets from 2012 and they started pulling up tweets from Melissa's sisters where they were like, I can't believe you would have Teresa on Celebrity Apprentice. My sister should be on it. And they're just like talking crap about Teresa. So I get it. That was in the past. But also we saw a post recently of Melissa's mom who she seems actually really nice. Melissa's mom hasn't said anything. She does seem really nice, but someone tried to compare Antonia to Gia and she got defensive and she's like, absolutely not. Like they're very different.
And what does that mean? Gia is like a very sophisticated, mature person.
And
so
who says that? Like you're like,
yeah, why are you comparing them?
Why are you even responding to that person?
Yeah.
Why would you even respond? You see Teresa and her family. Why are you even responding? It just makes absolutely no sense.
And Antonia's an amazing girl. So why are you even talking?
Yeah, the weirdest thing. So I'm sure crap like that. You can forgive when people do things like that, but you can never forget. And those type of people, no matter how much you move on, will never be happy for you. They will absolutely never be happy for you. So why have them come to my wedding? That's weird. Me and you barely get along, like her and Melissa. Why would I have everyone? And I need to point out that on episode 2, which we talked about yesterday, but she was like, Melissa says, we've had to fake it. So thank God now we don't have to fake it anymore. But Melissa expects all of this. Melissa expects Joe to walk Teresa down the aisle. She expects to walk in the wedding. Her mom, and what's crazy is she probably expected her sisters to come to that wedding, which is insane. Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Her sisters, especially since I rewatched, are probably have been the most vile people to Teresa. And I get it. That's your sister. So you're going to have loyalty to Melissa. I 100% get it. But then if I was Teresa, I would never look twice at them and never care to look twice at them. And their damn husbands, whoever Melissa's sister's husbands are even the worst. So it's why would I even want to be a part of that family whatsoever? And she doesn't need to be. And she doesn't need to be. I don't even want to be around do you want to have to be involved in your in-laws' families? No. Your sister-in-law's family? No.
No, I don't.
No. We have a lot to do with our own family.
Right,
Thank you so
my
much.
sister-in-law is don't want to be a part of my, it's the same thing. We have respect for each other, but no, you're right. We don't want that. So I just think the whole thing is crazy. And what's crazy is, so on AllAboutTRH, so I created AllAboutTRH back in 2010, I think. And I have Laura, who's my partner. And Laura, unfortunately, she can't do podcast episodes with me because I feel like our schedules probably don't align with the kids. So we are very passionate about this, but no one understands unless they've been with AllAboutTRH from the beginning, which I found a lot of people were, but they accused us of working for Teresa and being paid for Teresa, being paid by Teresa, when that's absolutely not the case. I don't even think Shantel, didn't you tell me I need to get more personal? My name's Roxanne. I feel like I need to start saying.
Yeah, I did tell you that you need to start talking a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, I introduced myself on episode 1 and 2, but I need to remind people it's Roxanne here, whatever. People call me Roxy. You started
this blog before even being married. You started this blog. You've always been
I was 19 years old.
You've always loved writing.
Yeah.
And
remember, it's hard because we can't see each other. But remember when so I had started this blog and Melissa came after me and on Thanksgiving.
Not even Melissa. Remember OG Kathy and whatever her husband's name is? They came after you.
Yeah.
They tried to get you fired from your job.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Jim Marquis also did too. So you guys, I work in a corporate position. I've been working 10 years in corporate. I'm an executive. I work in executive HR, so recruiting and stuff. So Jim Marquis actually called my company, which is a Fortune 500 company, one of the top companies in the world to work for. They called my company.
Wait, who is Jim's wife again that was on the show? I forgot her name. Amber, which was Melissa's friend. Okay,
so Jim apparently he worked in this industry, and he said that because I worked for this corporate company that employs 50,000 people, that because I worked there, I'm trying to take him down. And my company called me. I'll never forget. Legal called me and they were like, Roxanne, hey, what is this? I'm like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. So yeah, they try to get me fired, whatever. It's obviously unrelated to my corporate position.
Yeah, but New Jersey has been known that you know the scoop. You've been very involved. They try to really discredit you any chance they can get.
They always try to discredit.
Yeah, and it's just ridiculous. And it's and you guys do way more than just New Jersey, but like you said, it gets our blood boiling. It's our home.
Our specialty. Exactly. Yeah. And it makes me think, so Shantel, I've been telling you, I've been calling you, poor girl, you're at work. And I'm like, Shantel, I'm stressed out because all these accounts are getting removed on Instagram and they're getting removed on Twitter. These are accounts that have had 100,000 followers. At the end of the day, All About TRH is also a business. We're a blog, we're a website, and we have a big following on social media outlets. I'm like, they are getting removed. And they all happen to be on Teresa's, they prefer Teresa maybe over. And it's been 10 accounts now, big accounts that have gotten removed, smaller accounts. It doesn't matter, just accounts that have gotten removed. And I just think about, Shantel, when Melissa on Thanksgiving found out my name and her sisters started tweeting Roxanne from Michigan. And they started doing all that. And it made me wonder, I know, I've heard allegedly that Margaret is getting these accounts. Alleged. I don't know for sure. No one come after me. I don't know. But I heard allegedly Margaret is getting accounts removed. They're very invested on the show. This is their whole entire life. They are constantly on their phone. But I'm kind of thinking, this is just my opinion, that Melissa and Joe, and Melissa's cousins, she has a lot of cousins, and that they might be behind getting these accounts removed. What do you think about that theory?
I thought what I thought from you was that there was a post that was very weird with Margaret, and that's why they were getting removed. So I don't.
But then when 9 more accounts get removed that didn't post it, it's suspect.
Wow.
It's very sus.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I had to block Melissa and Joe. So I always wondered. I always wondered on Instagram. Me and Melissa, one time we had a conversation on the phone to try to get to a better place because she was like, "I'm so over you." Yeah, she was like, "I'm so over you, dude." And we did. And this was when I was also getting married, and I was so busy with work, and because I work full time, I work 8 to 5.
And at one point, Teresa and her were at a good
spot. I think that's when it was. Yeah, and I love those episodes. I think that's when it was. So I totally backed off. I was so focused on my life. Laura, she was Superwoman. She took over. So I totally backed off. But I always wondered, especially as of recent, we're exposing things. We're telling the truth. We're telling the full story. We're putting the context out. I always wondered, why the hell has Melissa not blocked us on Instagram? I always thought that was so weird that she hasn't blocked me on Instagram, because we, put things out that aren't in her favor, because we're just putting out the truth. That's all we're doing. And it's not in her favor. And I finally had to block her, and I had to block Joe, and I had to block everyone. So if you guys are listening and you're getting your accounts removed, you need to block all of those type of people, because what happens is, thank God Instagram gave you the ability, when you block someone, you can block all accounts associated with it. So I'm sure Melissa has 10 burner accounts. So I've heard that she does. So then
that's smart.
Yeah. So Instagram blocks them all from you. So I was getting make sure you're following community guidelines. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's not like we're harassing people. We're a legitimate business. What the heck is this? And I was a little bit worried. I'm not going to lie. I was like, what the hell is this? As soon as I blocked Melissa and Joe, I promise you it went away. And I was like, Like I checked Instagram again, like that, you know, make sure you're following community, all that went away. And of course I had to block like her cousins and everybody. So again, this is just me assuming, but I do think
look who's working overtime.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Oh my gosh, Chantel, can we do more podcasts with each other? Because I'm loving this. Exactly. I was like to Chantel, we need to like get at least 30 minutes in with each other. She's like, oh my God, we do. I'm like, yeah. And like, look at, we're 50 minutes in. Okay.
This is like a phone call conversation.
This is us. Let me tell you guys something. Me and her talk on the phone for 2 hours a day. She'll be at work or like my kids are in the background and we're literally on. She's like, what the hell's happening? Let me FaceTime mom. Let me see what's going on. But we are on the phone like this and we're talking about things like this all the time. So it's so funny. Did we mention we're 6 days apart? Yeah, we're 6 days apart. So
I'm older.
Yeah, she's older. And our mom, we grew up, just so you know, our moms, there's 5 sisters and they had 1 brother. We were with each other every single Friday and Saturday, and Sunday. And it was always weird because it was always at the same aunt's house. Like, I feel like if it was always at my house, I'd be like, all right, come on, like, let's change scenery. Let me bring my kids to your guys' house. But it was always at it was always at either 2 aunts' house. Like, there was always 2 of them, but we went there every single weekend. And how many cousins are there? There's like 40 of us.
No, we're 20. We're
20 all together.
Yeah. First cousins are 20.
No, there's no way we're 20.
No, we're 20. We're 20. There's
Chantel.
5 kids. There's 5 kids. They each have 3 to 4 kids.
No,
we're 20.
No, 5 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2. What is that? I don't even know.
We're 21 exactly.
Okay, are we? Wow. Okay, I thought we were like, okay, so my dad's side is way larger, but yeah, okay, well, whatever. Like, we all grew up together. We're always with each other. We're all still very close. What was the whole point of me even talking about this right now? Just how close we are?
Oh, yeah, because like how long we've been going on with this podcast. And we haven't even gotten to Miami yet.
Okay,
let's
get to Miami because you're going to be like, yes, exactly.
Give me a drink like Marisol and let me go on the beach.
No, we should start doing that. I know she is. Do you think she's an alcoholic?
What's crazy to me is that any other housewife show, if any of them drank the way Marisol drank,
that's so true,
they would be blasted. It would be a whole season on her drinking. I don't think she's an alcoholic, but she definitely drinks a lot, and she claims that she's on this liquid diet. Like, what is this liquid diet? Is it like
it's not eating? She's not eating.
It's not eating. Like, drinking. I love Miami because it is so refreshing and my blood boils when I watch Miami. New Jersey. Exactly. I think Miami is probably the best franchise right now, but it also makes me very depressed because all the women are so like fake and sexy and hot. And I'm just like, can I watch New Jersey to feel back to normal?
I know.
Because I'm confused, but it's because they're all on this liquid diet Marisol's on.
I know. I don't think she's an alcoholic. I love her. I'm obsessed with her. I want to be like her when I grow up. Like, I think she's hilarious. I want more of her. I don't know. I'm obsessed with every scene. I think it's hilarious. And she's right.
She's definitely very funny. I don't know if I love her though, like the way you love her, but I think she's very funny. And I die for her, her scenes and her,
confessionals.
The confessionals. Yep. The confessionals. Yeah. I love those.
I think she's so funny, and yeah, I want more of her, but she's a friend of the wife, and it's probably by choice. I think that she chose that. I don't think.
Wait, she's a friend of the housewives?
Yes, you didn't know that?
No, you're lying.
Wait, no, are you being serious? Yeah.
No, I'm being dead serious. She is not a friend of the housewife.
She and Adriana are. Is it Adriana? What? Is it Adriana or Adriana? I never know. Adriana. Yeah, they both are. And I think it's because there's so much pressure with Bravo to have like a freaking storyline. So they're like, well,
wait, Adriana is a storyline though. So I'm very confused. I don't know who is with Miami because it's on Peacock and probably different producers. It doesn't feel like the way you would see.
They're
like,
on every episode. They're on
every episode. They're in every confessional. They're like even Kiki. Like I know. Is she a friend of the housewives? Because to me,
Kiki, like, to me, Kiki's like normal.
She embodies a real friend of the housewife. Yeah.
But not them. Like, but it's again because, you know, Marisol lives a low key life, even though she like knows everything about everyone. But like with her husband, he seems very quiet. He probably wants nothing to do with it. So was he at the dinner with them?
But they didn't show him. We've seen him a couple times.
Yeah,
like,
so then you can for sure tell that means he does not want to be he absolutely doesn't want to be on the show. That's what I'm assuming. Is that he doesn't want to be on it. But yeah, they're friends of the housewives.
Wow, I'm shocked.
I'm telling you, it's the pressure of storyline. It's like, what's your storyline? What are we going to follow you on? What are you going to do this season? So I guess it's easier and less drama but I guess it's not, because Adriana is like the focal point of all the drama.
She is, I can't stand her, I'll be honest. And she's literally all the drama this season too. So she should be getting the coins because she deserves it, because she is the drama.
So I felt bad for her last episode. Okay, I'm Team Alexia. I love her, but I don't think Alexia has been looking that great. Like what Alexia did to that man, and not taking any accountability about Adriana's boyfriend, and saying like
very bothersome.
Yeah, like it was too much. It was all too much. It's like, you don't act like that. You clearly do care. Stop acting like you don't care. You've brought it up 100 times, and so I felt bad for Adriana in those moments. I'm not gonna lie, where whatever. But then this episode happens, and I'm like, oh my God, what am I watching? And she's too much.
It's like desperate energy. It's like when you have a friend who's constantly telling you like, I miss our friendship, and like, well, you were my bridesmaid and you were it's like there's been like years and years and years from that point to this point.
Right. If you felt that way, why didn't you hit me up? Like,
correct.
Yeah.
It's desperate. And it's like it's almost like it's like a guy and a girl. It's like it's very off-putting. So it's like why do I want to be friends with you if you're going to act this way? So it's very desperate energy. I feel bad for her, because you would feel bad for anybody expressing their emotions, and they do feel a bad way. So I do feel it, but I see Alexia and Marisol's point of like, okay, like you're annoying, and then she does
Wait,
the leg. The leg.
Wait, before we talk about the leg. So that, oh my gosh. Let me, that kind of reminded me of my mom. I love my mom so much.
Roxanne, I thought the same.
Oh my God, I love my mom so much. My mom is like, how do you like describe someone who like, what's
just dramatic? Like, I just think just dramatic.
Like, we tell my mom this all the time, but what's my mom's type of love? Like, she wants like she'll like hug me, like, like she wants
all of the love languages. She wants she wants to touch. She wants
oh my God,
all of them. All of them.
So you thought of my mom in that
I literally was like, this is Roxanne's mom. This is my aunt. This is her love language. She just like she makes it, if she stubbed her toe, it's like you guys don't give me attention.
The wheelchair. Oh my God, the wheelchair is something my mom would do. And I was like, oh my God, no, what is this? But okay, wait, before we get to that. So Marisol comes, she surprises them, right? At while they're all like eating and stuff. And you can tell Adriana's like pissed because she was having a conversation.
The energy did shift. The energy does shift when Marisol came, which is obvious, and it's more because of Alexia, and it does shift. But yeah, keep going.
I think it does shift because Alexia, she starts acting very like it's just her and Marisol. Where without Marisol, she's like having fun and like
she's talking to everyone. Like you see on the slides when they went down the slides last episode, and like they like it was like the team fun group. But then it's like I guarantee you, if Marisol was there, Alexia wouldn't have went down the slides. She wouldn't have went and like done these weird things with like the rest of the group. She just wouldn't have.
No, I agree with you. I absolutely agree with everything you're saying. So yeah. I'm in agreement with that. The thing is, like, when Marisol comes and, Adriana starts, like, kind of picking up, and Marisol's like, what the fuck did I just come to? Like, I'm in the Bahamas. I'm so excited to be here, and, like, this energy is just very down. What's going on? And Adriana's like, she brings up, you know what, Marisol, you had a boyfriend, and you can tell that Marisol like low-key still loves this boyfriend, by the way. This was like her big heartbreak. This is the guy who got away. I don't remember this boyfriend. I don't remember if he was on the show. Whatever.
I don't think so. Yeah, you're right. I don't think we knew him.
Yeah. But I don't remember him, but she brings him up and she's like, yeah, we were even talking, and I told her, you can't, I can't talk to you because of Marisol. And she's like, and he said he didn't love you. And that made me say, you know what, Adriana, I don't feel sorry for you, because it's like, why would you do that? Yeah. And why are you even bringing this up? How is that showing that you're loyal to me? First off, why were you talking to him to the point that he's going to tell you like, I didn't love her, like that he was comfortable enough to tell you that?
You know what? I think it was coming from a place that Alexia hurt her, and Alexia and Marisol are team buddies. So that's how she thinks of it. And it's like, you hurt me and you try to expose this guy. So I'm going to just come at you. And she just did it in such a, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of why she did it. It makes no sense to me, but I think that's why.
It was just, she looks so
disgusting.
She was like trying to hurt Marisol again or something.
Yeah.
Because you can tell Marisol like feels a certain way, but she like was like, she stayed calm and everything. But that was number one. Okay. So, and then like with Lisa's like heartbroken. I feel so bad for her. I feel like nothing really, she's just extra emotional, and if right now Lenny called her, she would be like, okay, let's get back together, which is so sad. But I think, she's going to wake up, not now. I think it's going to take another year or two and be like mortified and be like, fuck you. Like, I am hot as hell. I don't need you. I don't need you. You are like trash. Like, I don't need you.
And I'm hoping it takes her to do it without finding another man. But I do think like what history repeats itself when you just see women and just in general, like it's like when they find a good guy, they're just like, hell yeah, like I didn't need you. And I just hope she just finds that on her own and she just sees like how such an amazing mother she is and how she can do it on her own and she's just great. And it's like, you're disgusting and I didn't need nothing to do with you.
Exactly. Yeah, I hope that's the case. But if she finds a good man who like shits on Lenny, which I think most people would,
She will, and
great.
she'll be, yeah, exactly.
So, okay, let's talk about the foot thing because we've been talking for so long, but let's talk about the foot thing. So, okay, so I don't know. They have like all these these healers that I don't understand these things.
Wait, no, we need to talk about Kiki because Kiki is an underrated like friend housewife.
Yeah.
I want to know more about her because I want to know more about her because she keeps talking about this ex-boyfriend that cheated on her. So it's like, what happened to you that you were screaming the way you were screaming?
That was so scary. That took me back to high school. Like that took me back to like my first like breakup or something of how I felt. But like not now. Like that.
And her and Lars's relationship cracks me up because Lars was like, girl, are you okay? Like it was just comical. And then remember the time she peed in
did she pee in the ocean? What was that?
She peed in the ocean. Yeah, exactly.
I was laying with Charlie watching that scene and I'm like, wait, what just happened? And I start laughing and I'm laying with Charlie and she's like, Mom, why are you moving your body? And I'm like watching the scene because I was like, I'm like cracking up. I'm like, what's this girl doing? Like everything she does, like she does not give a shit. And I love it. I'm here for it. I love people who are just like, real on camera and like what me and you would say stuff like if we weren't on this podcast, certain stuff. Like, I don't think we'd act like that. Or if we were on camera, I don't think we'd
I would cuss you out if you went into the beach and tried to pee it. I'd be like, what are you doing? That's
but
nasty.
Especially on camera, like, oh my gosh. No, you would be like, dude, what do you do? Like, don't ever do that ever. But yeah, no, she is freaking hilarious. And I do want to see more of her. I like her so much. And I want to know more of her story because like we know Adriana Marisol's,
Exactly. We need to know her story, like for sure. And I hope they don't get rid of her, which I think they might, but I hope they don't.
Yeah. Okay, so the foot thing. So so the foot thing. I don't even know what the hell happened. So Gertie and her fall and
Gertie and Kiki fall on Adriana's foot.
Adriana's like, I just don't want that energy around me. Adriana's that person, like, we're in the fucking Bahamas, let's have a good time. And like, she's just so dramatic right now. And it's because she just wants attention. She wants everyone to be like, are you okay, Adriana? Oh my gosh, like, we care. Are you okay? I don't know, because even when they showed the slow motion, you don't see anything. You don't see anything really happen to her foot.
I did see her foot like kind of twist, but it wasn't
my gosh.
Yeah, it wasn't where like she fell in the water, she's drowning, her foot is like twisted. I don't know. I mean, it clearly was bruised, but like, why are you in a wheelchair? Why did you get in a wheelchair? And like, poor, I can't really stand Juliana either. And like, poor Julia.
Who the hell is Julia?
I barely know her because she bothers me. I like fast forward her. I fast forward her scenes. It's so sad.
We are aligned,
yeah. I'm sure a lot of you guys do too. So don't hate on us. But Julia, like poor Julia, because she's a good friend. I'll give her that. So she has to sit there and like take care of her. But I would be so annoyed. I'd be like, what's wrong?
Julia, because Julia is like, she's not meant to be with these type of girls. So she's not meant to be with these type of girls. So she's like, whatever, like. Anyways, like, let me stay with Adriana. And they both, I feel like, bring out the worst in each other. They hype each other up to like get mad about stupid things. I don't like their friendship. I think it's good they have each other for loyalty purposes, but I don't know. I find them both to be very annoying.
I agree. I really fast forward their scenes.
Even the scene. So if you, I don't know, there was like the dinner scene with Julia where she brings up the like, oh, you threw away my stone. Get over it. It's not that serious. Like,
well, I think with this, like all their fights are very petty. So it really does lead up to the end of the last 2 minutes of what we saw with Adriana and Alexia. And because that's when shit just gets so real. And that's when you just know that the show is like, not made up, because like all the other scenes like with Julie and her damn stone and this and that's like, shut up, like are you joking right now?
No, Shantel, that's not true. A lot of it is made up, and I know this because I've talked to so many housewives people who weren't housewives anymore. Like a lot of it is made up. There's so much pressure to have a storyline.
I'm saying that is made up, and it's like petty, so that when you got to the last 2 minutes,
they'll like hype things up just because they're like, well, we're on a show anyways. Like I would never get mad if cameras were rolling, but cameras are rolling. Like we're doing a job. But the last 2 minutes, so what happens? They're all sitting down, and I'm even drawing a blank of what happened. I just know what
they're talking about the accident, and Andreana's trying to say that her
the accident.
It's not
fucking wheelchair. She comes out in a wheelchair, and she's like pissed. No one's like, are you good? And everyone's like, well, no, like mentally, are you okay? Like, are you good that you just came out on a wheelchair? Like, oh, and then wait, can I just say the people picking her up, like she's having men pick her up. That's weird to me. And that, I don't know.
You can't hop on one foot for a second. Like maybe up the stairs, okay, but like every single second you need someone to pick you up.
Like, to ask like a man, like that's not his job to freaking pick you up.
Wait, side note, because you've been to Baha Mar in Bahamas. Did you go on this like private island that they went to?
No, but like also
peasant.
Okay, like, and I remember leaving Baha Mar, and I was like, babe, like I would rather just stick to Cancun. Like, we just spent so much fucking money. And I was like, and he was like, why? It was so badass. And I'm just like, no, Cancun is the same thing. Yeah, I felt like a total peasant watching their experience at Baha Mar compared to my experience. It's like a beautiful resort, but I'm like, okay, yeah, no, we never had like a presidential man or whatever the hell he was. Like,
he was a butler.
No, it was like president of something, and he was like, "Hi guys." I'm like, okay, we didn't have that. But yeah, I definitely felt like a peasant compared to them. So, anyways, whatever. Yeah, okay, yeah. But yeah, so the men were picking her up and all this stuff. She's just too much, too dramatic, and she compliments them. Now I remember. She compliments them about like her music and like them listening to her music. I didn't even see that part. I don't know. Did you?
They were on the yacht, and they were like, she even said like, I want to play my song, and then they really do play her song, and they all get like, and they were drinking before, so they were all like lit. Like that like was so much fun. I was like, I want to go on vacation and just go on a boat and like dance.
Yeah, I missed that part. Yeah. I don't know. Okay, so okay, yeah, that happened. And she like says like she appreciates it, and Alexia then calls her out about about her foot, about an accident or something.
I don't know what Alexia. I think she said, I really don't know how it got triggered actually, even though it was just today we watched it. But
I literally just watched it 10 minutes. You guys, I don't even remember what I did.
And we just watched it.
I don't even remember what I did 5 minutes ago. Like I don't like, so yeah, I absolutely do not remember that scene. I have to write everything down. But Shantel was like, do you want me to like do Miami with you too? And I'm like, because Shantel was like, I watched it. Do you want me to do? I'm like, yeah, because then I don't have to like write a script to like recall and reference. Like I can just enjoy the episode without having to do that.
They started talking about, she started saying, thank you so much for listening to my music, but I don't feel supported in my accident that happened. That's like what she said. And they're like, what do you mean accident? Like, what are you talking about? Like, are you okay?
I think Alexia called her out first though about it. And then she said, yeah, I don't feel supported. And then she was like, accidents, like you, like, with Frankie and his accident, bitch, you got me effed up. You got me effed up. If she's about to compare Frankie,
I think my heart skipped like multiple beats.
Alexia started crying immediately.
The way Marisol reacted was the way how I was reacting. I was so flabbergasted that she would say something like that.
It's crazy because some people on our comments on social media, they're saying, well, Alexia said, she can say whatever she wants about everyone else, but the second someone makes a comment about her life, she gets mad. But this is
no.
This is the most tragic accident.
Tragic, traumatizing. Everything that her life from that point on to now has made up because of this. And it's like, you don't compare your bruised foot to her son. You just don't. And you don't bring up her son ever. Yeah. Ever.
And his situation, like, even when I watch scenes with Frankie, like, I'm like so sad for her, because here she is, like, she's at a point in her life where like her kids are grown. Like she doesn't have like little kids anymore. But like, because of the accident, his condition, you know, it's kind of like having a little kid, you know, and I'm just like, I can't imagine what she goes through on a day-to-day. And every time I see those scenes, I just like think of my kids, and I thank God every day, like, oh my gosh, please protect my children. But for Adriana then to bring him up is the craziest thing ever. And I don't know what she thought would come from that. Like, I don't know.
I'm really hoping when she sees Alexia's reaction, she really just like stops in her tracks and says sorry. And hopefully we give her the benefit of the doubt for the next episode. I just was shocked. I was shocked.
It's totally crazy though, because I'm telling you, if you read the comments on our social media, people are like both. And I feel like you have to have like a heart, like, or like, okay, I'm not saying you're heartless, because Alexia has been messy this season, but like when it comes to like kids, I don't know, especially in his situation, he's never involved in the drama. Like, you know how like people are like, well, they stick up for their mom or blah, blah, blah. He's not involved in the drama. Okay.
Wait, so like they're saying that Andriana is not saying anything crazy. That's what people are saying.
They're like literally saying, you know, like, here's one comment. I thought she said anyone can say anything when it was about hurting Dr. Nicole's career and livelihood though. And like 120 people like that. Like, we just posted about, cause Alexia, like on Instagram, she shared her response to Frankie's story. It's way too long for me to go into it, but definitely go onto AllAboutTRH.com. We have it up there. But she shares his story. And people are like absolutely kind of like agreeing with Adriana, which is crazy.
Wow, I'm shocked.
I know. I think it's just because Alexia's been messy. But take Alexia being messy out of the equation, because I agree that Alexia has been messy. I will say there's been episodes that I'm like, okay, like with her and Nicole, I'm like Alexia, what the hell? Or even with Adriana's boyfriend, like how she acted, or Adriana, whatever her name is. Like I wasn't okay with that. But Adriana. I'm not even thinking about it. I'm thinking about just Frankie and the fact that, like, as a mother, what she went through. I'm not thinking about like the show anymore. I just think it went all too far.
Yeah. And you don't bring that up and compare that accident to your accident to make yourself feel better. Like, it's unnecessary. Do not go there.
Wait, to your fucking foot, dude. To your foot. To your foot
that's bruised. Yeah. Oh, that's bruised. Yeah. Even if it is broken, are you
still
joking?
Don't. Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
and she literally has the audacity to say, my foot, I could have lost my foot.
Yeah.
What?
I know.
How? Were you an amputee? Like, were they gonna cut your foot off? How are you gonna lose your foot?
Yeah.
Did the shark come up to you and bite your leg? Please explain to me.
I know. Yeah. It was madness. So embarrassing. Like, I'm not excited, but I just want to see the next episode, because I'm appalled by all that happening. And I feel for Alexia. I feel so bad for her with this situation. And I just can't imagine. So I don't care if she was making an analogy, by the way, because some people are like, well, she was making an analogy. First off, the analogy is not even comparable. So you know what? No more analogies on Real Housewives.
Yeah, they need to stop with the analogies.
I don't want it.
Coke, college kid, accident, like enough.
I don't want it. Exactly. So, I mean, it's a to be continued. Chantel, this has gone wow.
Yeah, we're like an hour and 12 minutes. I hope you edit this.
Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna put it out. And you guys, if you're still listening to this podcast, thank you so much.
Yeah, tell her that you want me on.
Yes, please write a review. If you liked Chantel on the episode, write a review. And if you
go on her latest Instagram and say that you love me.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and do that as well. But definitely write a review. Let me know if you liked her. Let me know if you didn't like her. I want to know. Okay. Watch him come back. Watch him come back and be like, no, we don't like you. We love Chantel. We don't like you. That's what's going to happen. But we were so nervous. We were like, are we going to get 30 minutes? And here we are. And this is literally our daily phone calls, like 5 times a day. So thank you so much, Chantel, for joining. And based on how the response is, I feel like we're going to have you join again, okay? Make some time for us.
I think it helped you, so we'll see.
I swear. Yeah, exactly. All right, I will see you.
Bye, guys. Thank you. Subscribe.
You guys, I have to say that was my favorite podcast that I've ever done. I am like obsessed with my family. I'm obsessed with my cousins. Everything to me. And she is my sister. And I had so much fun doing that podcast with her. So I hope you guys like this episode. Please give me feedback about this episode, because I actually had so much fun doing it with her. And thank you for listening and supporting. We have more exclusives. We have more receipts that are going to be coming out soon. Please make sure that you are subscribed. Check out our new Instagram account, AllAboutTRH Podcast. Check out AllAboutTRH.com for all the latest entertainment news with Real Housewives. And thank you guys so much again.